The Mermaid of the Silent River, and The Lost Prince Part 2. Zara could not move. She stood frozen at the edge of the river, staring at the water that had suddenly become calm again. Moments ago, a human hand had burst out from beneath the river. A real hand, not a dream, not a story. The prince was real, and something beneath the water was holding him captive. Zara slowly turned toward the mermaid. Her voice trembled. What was that? The mermaid looked frightened now, more frightened than before. You should not have seen that, she whispered. But I did, Zara replied. Tell me the truth. What is happening in this river? The mermaid looked around nervously, as if something might be listening. Then she spoke quietly. The river hears everything. A cold wind suddenly passed through the trees. Zara stepped back slightly. The river that once looked peaceful now felt alive. Watching, waiting. Please, Zara said softly. I want to help. The mermaid stared at her for a long moment. Then finally, my name is Nerida, she said. Zara blinked. Nerida. The mermaid nodded slowly. Long ago, before this river became cursed, my people lived freely beneath these waters. Zara listened carefully. We protected the river, Nerida continued. Humans respected it. No one crossed the boundary. What boundary? Zara asked. Nerida looked toward the center of the river. There are places in this world where two worlds touch. Zara frowned slightly. I don't understand. The world of humans, Nerida whispered. And the world beneath. The air around them suddenly felt colder. Zara hugged herself tightly. What happened to the prince? She asked. Nerida's expression changed immediately. Pain filled her eyes. He was not supposed to come here. Zara stepped closer. Then why did he? Nerida lowered her head slightly. Because of me. Silence. Only the soft sound of water moving against the rocks. I used to watch the village from the river, Nerida said quietly. Humans fascinated me. Their laughter, their music, their freedom. One night, the prince came alone. He heard me singing. Zara's eyes widened. And he followed your voice. Nerida nodded slowly. At first he was afraid, but over time he kept returning. Zara stared at her. You became friends. For the first time, a faint smile appeared on Nerida's face. Yes, far away inside the village, people believed the prince had disappeared. But the truth was more complicated. We would speak for hours, Nerida continued. He told me about the palace, about his dreams, about wanting freedom. Zara sat quietly beside the riverbank, listening carefully. And then one night, Nerida's voice broke slightly. Something hurt us. The water behind her moved gently, as if reacting to her words. What hurt you? Zara whispered. Nerida looked terrified now. The guardian. The moment she said that name, the river suddenly rippled violently. Zara jumped back. Nerida quickly looked around. Do not say that name loudly, she whispered urgently. Zara's heart pounded. What is the guardian? Nerida swallowed slowly. It is the spirit bound to this river. Ancient, powerful, and cruel. Zara stared at the dark water. So the spirit trapped the prince. Nerida nodded. He said humans and mermaids were never meant to connect. And as punishment, he took the prince beneath the river. Zara looked horrified. But why not kill him? Nerida's eyes dimmed. Because suffering lasts longer than death. A deep silence followed. Zara looked toward the center of the river again. Somewhere beneath that dark water, the prince was still alive. Waiting. Trapped. Can he be saved? Zara asked quietly. Nerida hesitated, then nodded slowly. Yes. Zara's eyes lit up immediately. How? But Nerida did not answer immediately. Instead, she looked at Zara carefully, as if deciding whether to trust her. Finally, she spoke. There is one way. Zara moved closer. What is it? The guardian's power becomes weakest during the blood moon. Zara frowned. The blood moon. Nerida pointed toward the sky. It comes tomorrow night. Zara's heart skipped. So we can free him then. Nerida nodded slowly. But it is dangerous. How dangerous? Zara asked. Nerida looked directly into her eyes. If anything goes wrong, you may never leave this river. Zara fell silent. Her grandmother's warning echoed in her head again. Stay away from the silent river. But then she remembered the prince's hand, reaching out desperately from the water, and something inside her refused to walk away. I'll help, Zara said firmly. Nerida stared at her in surprise. You barely know me. Zara nodded. Maybe, but I know suffering when I see it. For the first time since Zara met her, Nerida smiled genuinely, a sad but grateful smile. Then listen carefully, Nerida whispered. The guardian cannot leave the deepest part of the river, but during the blood moon, the barrier weakens. Zara listened carefully. You must bring fire, salt, and a silver bell. Zara frowned. A bell. Nerida nodded. The sound weakens him. Suddenly, a loud crack echoed through the forest nearby. Both of them froze. Nerida's expression changed instantly. Fear returned to her face. He knows, she whispered. The river behind her began moving violently. Dark shadows swirled beneath the surface. Gio, Nerida shouted suddenly. Run now. Zara stumbled backward. But, Gio, the water exploded upward violently. A massive dark shape moved beneath it. Huge, vast, unnatural. Zara screamed and ran. Branches scratched against her arms as she raced through the trees. Behind her, the river roared. Not like water, like something alive. Angry. Zara did not stop running until she reached the village. Breathing heavily, heart pounding, villagers stared at her strangely as she stumbled through the road. What happened to her? She looks terrified, but Zara ignored them. She ran straight home. When she burst into the hut, her grandmother was waiting, standing, silent, as if she already knew. You went back, the old woman said quietly. Zara froze. And now, her grandmother continued slowly. The river has noticed you. The fear in her voice made Zara's blood run cold. Watch out for part 3. Like, comment, subscribe, and share.